In this video, I'm just going to show you some comparisons between Blender Render and Cycles Render and how I use the two depending on what projects I'm working on. So this project right now is for one of the stories that I'll post later this week on my sci-fi animator website called Which Hex Stew. It teaches hexadecimal numbers to kids and adults. And so this is the rendered version. Well, the nice thing about Blender these days and with the GPUs is that, let's take a look. Typically in the old days, when I built this scene initially a long time ago, it was really slow. Even just to render a single frame was quite slow. So I'm working in Blender Render, as you see here. And if I'm not in texture mode. Let's go into texture mode just for a second. And that's okay, but that never really gives me an idea of what the scene, looks like unless I actually do the rendering on it like this. Well, this is the kind of style of rendering I like to do for the kids' books because I don't want a finished perfect illustration. It allows me to really play with the lights a lot more compared to if I go over into Cycles Render and do a Cycles rendering. It's kind of a certain kind of realism to me that just doesn't, I don't know. I mean, part of I like, but part of it is, if I start adjusting the lights, it almost looks too real for me. I want it more fantasy oriented like that. And then I have to change things up as far as making the way things glow. You really have to change the effects a lot. But one of the nice things about this implementation in Cycles is that you have render mode active now, because back in Blender Render back in the old days you only had solid and texture, but now you notice I'm sitting here in render mode in Blender Render, meaning I'm looking at my final rendering. So if I even just by moving the mouse, the nice thing about these GPUs, even though this isn't using the GPU, it's just it's not that fast of a computer, but basically I'm rendering my scene interactively like this, so I can look at my views how I want and really test them out. So it's a great feature for me because it really allows you to see your work quickly. And these kind of light effects, certain things are just more conducive to Blender Render. So don't discount it as a renderer all in and of itself. It just depends on what projects you're working on. And so I just wanted to point that out because this story is going to be posted on the website either by today or sometime this week. And I'll start posting all my stories here this year. And they'll be free to read, plus there'll be optional downloadable tutorials with the mini curriculum built in for a small fee or a donation or something. I haven't decided yet on that. And okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you in the next video.